When thinking about energy consumption within your pub, you've got to think of what, why, and when, the 3 W's. You have to think about what equipment you're using, why you're using it, and when you're using it. And by analysing those 3 things, doing a spreadsheet on it, doing an audit within your pub, you'll begin to realise where your energy consumption is actually going. And that really is the first point.
If you take a step back and look at your bar, we're open 7 days of the week, so we're acutely aware that we're probably open over 100 hours a week. Where are our high costs and where are our high returns? So obviously I'm busier on a Friday and Saturday evening, so there all the lighting is on and any heaters that need to be on to keep the patrons happy is on. Monday to Thursday between 9 in the morning when I come in after the school run and it's maybe 4 or 5, before it gets busy, I'm probably not putting on all my appliances. And the reason being I don't need to. It's not that it's dark, it's just more efficient on the end line, which is your bill.
The first thing to do is look at your and your staff's behaviour in terms of how they actually use energy within the pub environment. And by raising the awareness of it, and this has been shown in various audits that have been done in other business areas as well, you actually help people understand where they're using their energy and encourage them then to take the initiatives to reduce energy within your pub environment. If you're serving food, for example, and you go into the kitchen, turn off the gas rings if they're not being used. If there are light switches, put signs underneath them to encourage people to switch them off when they leave the room. In car parks and outdoor areas, have you got sensors there? For example, label light switches to ensure staff know which switch is for which area. Use LED bulbs. Check that heating thermostats are at a minimum comfortable temperature for customers and staff. 95% of glass washers in the trade heat water continually, even when not cleaning glasses. And the tip is don't use glass washers during quiet times, only use dishwashers and glass washers when full.
Behind the counter we have our own lighting for the tills and that. Probably had 4 or 5 lights on there when one was sufficient. So we spoke to our electrician. We got dimmers in where we could get dimmers and timers where timers could be put. Across the board though, we are probably very, very practical in the way we use our energy now. And by that I mean, it's not that I have a spreadsheet every day that I look at, but I do take into consideration when the lads are coming into work that certain things don't need to be turned on till 5 o'clock. Certain things should be turned on at 3 o'clock. So yeah, I wouldn't be turning on things that don't need to be turned on until customers are going to be in that general area. And if you know your business well enough, you'll know generally when they're going to be there anyway. So,
in relation to your bill, if out of contract, shop around for the best rate, submit actual meter readings, analyse your bill, consider a smart meter if fitted in your area. Know your big energy consumers within the actual pub environment and spot check out of hours usage, i.e. the amount of energy used from closing time to opening, and see can you find a reason why that energy is being used.
With regards to my own business, we're probably gone from a 27, 28 euro a day cost to a 50 euro a day cost. With we already know we're going to be hitting 90 euro a day probably by the end of next month, which is almost 3.5 times what we're used to paying. I'm not going to have 3.5 times more customers. So really I need to reduce my energy consumption by at least half that. And the only way you're going to do that is by checking your place continuously and make it work for you in a practical manner. There's no point having people walking around in the dark, but at the same time, you maybe don't need to have 12 lights on where 2 will be sufficient. But yeah, the tariffs at the moment look, they're a shock to everyone, but hopefully it's not for the long term.
So some additional points to consider in relation to saving energy. Check for leaky water taps and radiators. And another thing there is just check that your boiler has been recently serviced to improve its efficiency. Review outside heating, consider using timers and radiant heat panels. Ensure that condenser and evaporator fins are regularly clean and free of dust. Make sure that hot water tanks are pipes and properly insulated. And if using an immersion, fit a timer. And don't turn on kitchen equipment as a matter of course, and turn off equipment when not in use. And if you are using griddles or grills and have dual zones on those, only turn on half the appliance during quieter periods. One of the biggest energy consumers within the pub is the beer cooling system. So talk to your rep about getting a quality audit on your beer cooling system to ensure that you are maximising your energy efficiency.
Guinness have a quality control team for their beer dispensing, as do Heineken and Bulmers, and anyone else you deal with will generally have a guy that knows his business. We have another chap that looks after our refrigeration, which is your pintons, your coolers, your beer dispensers, your chillers. spoke to them, got a little bit of advice. Now, it's not going to be practical for all pubs across the plains, so you need to talk on a local level to your supplier, see what you can do in your business that will make it more efficient.
The good news is there is help available, and there actually is free help available. Through the Energy Audit Grant, through the SEAI, there's a 2K support for a grant to do an energy audit on your premises. And they do a deep dive onto all your energy consumption within the pub environment, and then make recommendations of how you can actually improve the energy efficiency in the pub. So please take advantage of this energy audit that's available through the SEAI. There's €2,000 available there for it. It's a great opportunity to get something free, and it'll be a great benefit to your business, so please avail of it.
So again, it goes back to your own pub. You need to look at what's making you the revenue, what's costing you revenue, and work between your own perimeters then to make it more efficient for you. But yeah, genuinely, breweries, suppliers, everybody wants to help you because you're selling a product. So utilize what you have on your doorstep. Talk to your suppliers. Let them help you if they can. And if they can't, then help yourself, because at the end of the day, you're paying the bills. It's up to you. It's up to me. You know, we have to do what we have to do to survive.
So that's just a quick overview video of where you can make savings within the pub. There also is an audit checklist that's going to be available on the VFI website, vfipubs.ie, and that, along with the SEAI audit that's available there as well. We hope that those things combined will help you reduce the energy consumption within your pub. Thanks for watching.